And once I get this shared everywhere, and I'm not going to share that, I'm going to share it a different way. Oh, so it didn't save it. Let's see. HTTP. Get this shared everywhere. That's games, that's not Streamer Corner. Once it's shared, then, and that one we already did. Once it's shared, what we will do is I will show you what already happened, just because I did need to get on early today, because a lot of this event is distance, which is kind of frustrating with everything going on in the world, but not much we can do about that. So, Facebook. Wrong one. There. And paste. And the F was just saying I was doing the letters in my mind and partially out loud. Not the usual, put the F in the chat for whatever. So, paste.
Up in the sitting here and wait for you to tell us.
Okay, I need to see, I think, yes, he's live, so it won't help to share there. But though we could share with Lexi. Okay, shared everywhere. Next thing, I need to go to my files again. Okay, that's the wrong files. File manager, no, exit, okay. Files, there. No, we don't want downloads, we want images, screenshots. Okay, when I picked up a port key, went in, we got insert a key before its timer runs out. Any 1920s port keys without a key in it will disappear shortly after the event ends. Once opened, you'll get an encounter and other valuable rewards. Then when we first came in, you found when I picked up the port key, you found one. They will transport you into an exclusive 1920s Wizarding World encounter. They're only available during the Wizarding World convergences and will disappear shortly after. So keep keys handy. And then this one was the first, when I first opened it. A 1920s Wizarding World convergence has been reported and asks us to find port keys and control the outbreak. So there's those. We also, in connection with that, that's the wrong one. should have these around. Whether they're in port keys, it's possible they're in port keys. Or they may be on the map. So, collect ingredients or port keys, unlock 5 port keys, and recover 3 separate types of foundables. So, we will be driving around. I'm going to hand the phone to David. Let him I'll be talking, but hey, Steph. How are you doing? I'll be talking, but we're going to go help Mindy out a little bit. She has not deposited about, 2 to 3 months worth of her paychecks. So we need to go get them in the bank for her. So while we're working on getting port keys unlocked, working on the event, we will be doing, we'll go do that for her, and then we'll come back because she's meeting with the doctor, so we're kind of trading off favors. I gave her a ride here, I'm gonna give her a ride home and deposit her paycheck stubs, and she's gonna talk to the doctor for me about trying to figure out my medicines. Or one of them. So, do watch for Steph to say stuff, please, David. So we will have Mindy and David with us.
Steph says about to go pick up dinner.
Sounds good, Steph. I'm sure it's probably not as good as the meals I've seen you make, but I totally get that not everyone has time to cook all the time. And did you ever I hope that the stuff I shared with you, maybe you're able to figure out stuff for your daughter sometime soon, or if not this year, before they keep putting her in danger. David didn't hear yet, but at her daughter's school, just in 9th and 10th grade, they have over 200 students in quarantine because they've been exposed in just 9th and 10th grade. So, kind of ridiculous, right? Right?
Mm-hmm.
So David's first day of school was today. Did you want to talk to them about what you're going to be doing this year?
Pretty much I got like 1 required class, and then like I can do whatever I want for the rest of the year. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be a video ambassador to pretty much make videos and stuff.
In other words, he's doing a lot of
Videos.
Broadcasting, editing, so taking videos, editing them, things like that. That's basically going to be what he's doing like the whole year.
Yep.
And he's looking forward to it from what I understand.
Yep. It's gonna be fun.
His 1 required class he's actually not starting for a little bit, and then it's actually going to be a college class.
Yep.
As he's scheduled to attend the AM session, and And the college class, I think, is a PM class?
Yep. Technically.
But they also kind of, from my understanding, because he's going to be a video ambassador, kind of are expecting him, or because he wants to be, are kind of expecting him to be there most of the time.
Steph says, well, my kid has strep, so hasn't go into the market and more germs. And then super cool.
I'm glad it's just strep. I know you were really worried about it being COVID. And with everything going on in your family, of the two, I think strep is probably the better of the situation. Better results than COVID. Not that it's good for her to have strep, it's still something your other daughter can't be around. That Sam can't be around, I'm sure. But that's probably better than it ending up being COVID. Because also I think with strep, the amount of time everyone else has to stay away from her that's been around your daughter. Everyone that's been around your youngest daughter, I think the amount of time they have to stay away from Sam is shorter than if your youngest daughter had come down with COVID. So... Okay. I need a pen. Okay, I'm gonna pass some of these in while I fill out the rest.
Steph says, I know, right? Strep never felt like a blessing before. And then Steph also said much better.
What's today?
The 18th of August. When you can, could you plug in my cord?
Yeah, but it's going to be a little bit.
Okay.
Okay. Two more. She hasn't turned in her paychecks for like forever. She handed them all to me and said, "Would you take these in?" Oh boy. Thank you. Yeah, no, I get it. We'll go hand it to Mom.
Something was wrong with this one?
Look at the bottom where Mom was supposed to sign.
Yay.
Thank goodness it's Mom. I'm sure she just got going and the things that come from working for a small business.
Yeah.
So we might be back in about 5 or 10 minutes. I'm sure when we walk in and Mom. Yeah. Oh, I know. During deer season for many years, she had me bring in all of the deposits for her. So yeah, this isn't the first time I've been here with like stacks of different deposits. That was weird. I'm under a covered thing and it's raining under the covered thing somehow. Thank you. You too. Uh-huh. Hey David, looky. Come on, window.
Okay, Steph says lurking and driving.
Understood, Steph. I'm streaming and driving, so you can lurk and drive. But yes, please don't type and drive. That's something totally different. That's part of the reason we aren't going after stuff is because I'm driving and David doesn't.
I don't fight for you.
Yeah. But he does keep the screen open so that you guys have something to look at and so that we can get our walking distance. I think once we get to Mom's, I'm gonna, if it's okay, David, send you in with that.
Yeah, sign, come, yeah.
Yeah.
I got you.
So we can come back and get it in for Mindy. So sometimes what my mom will do, she makes a checkout for every week for all her employees, but sometimes she only sits down and does her books once a month. Some banks, and because she banks at the very same bank, some banks would just automatically, it's not signed, I'm taking it, it was a fake check. And they contact the person saying this is a fake. And I will see. I'm not going to promise, but I will see. Do that in case he wants to get up front. So?
Grandma's at the temple.
Oh, okay. I guess we won't fix it for her today.
Huh. Then I asked her, and she was like, temple. I was like, oh,
Okay.
get it. Just stay.
It wouldn't, not even click, just, and we were like, what? And so we called Dad. By the time he got there, there was no power.
I don't know when Steph said this, but buffering bad in this area.
Okay, sorry. Just barely. Or put in. I was pretty sure that was what was going to have to happen. And Heavenly Father stepped in because we don't have a lot of money right now, and it ended up just being an electrical thing, which he had a smile on his face.
That's good.
And even with it being something that I should have been, and you know, I don't know what happened, but I'm not gonna complain, and I'm gonna thank Heavenly Father for stepping in. So, and then we called and I left a message with Danny's wife so that one of us can remember to ask Danny to maybe try and tighten up the cable on the cable on the battery so that we don't have to worry about it. And I hope someone's with Steph if she said she's driving.
Alright, the only thing I heard in the last 4 minutes is the Heavenly Father.
Okay.
He had a smile, and much better.
Okay. I'll explain again.
So it was a cable problem. Yeah, it was a cable problem.
Yeah. So we went to PT, got no problems. We haven't had problems with the car for months. Today we got out of PT and went to start it. Well, we got in and it seemed like there was something going on with the electrical for a second, like it had a few months ago, and I went, oh crap. But then when we tried to start the car, it just went, it didn't even click. But it was allowed, so I thought, we've got plenty of power, and I was pretty sure the starter was giving out. Or was giving out. What brought that up was the fact that my mom, when David went in to check, she's not even there. Steph said something.
Well,
my mom was obviously headed up to the temple, so she didn't have time. My dad, then, surprisingly, it was really clear, and
oh my, she said.
I'll stop what I'm doing and come help you. But today he was eating lunch and he said, okay, I'll come over. I don't have anything for a little while, which was in and of itself a shock. And then he got there, he had a smile on his face, an upbeat tone, and one of the best moods I've seen him for years. Pretty positive it was. And we were going to have to figure out how to come up with money for that. And Friday we probably would have been able to, but what do we do between now and Friday was my concern. It wasn't a problem. So, thank Heavenly Father like crazy. Is how I'm just like, thank goodness, thank you. Definitely a blessing. Especially with everything else going on right now. So,
That's okay. Big blessing, okay.
In other words, Streamlabs had a whole bunch and you thought it was...
Yeah, I saw the ST and I was like, oh! No, it was just Streamlabs.
So, on top of everything that's been going on, I think a month and a half ago I mentioned we had to have our septic system pumped. What I don't think I've brought up is that after that, it works most of the time, but if we have water running too long or things like that, it seems to overwhelm the system and it starts bubbling up. And so we kept hoping it would resolve, but it hasn't, so we're going to have to pay some. Basically, she's like, how you've even not had to come to us before now is a testament. And then they were shocked when they went through and found out this. And I just smiled and said, we've been blessed. Is how. So, and they're like, and then you've had COVID, which cut down how much you got when you caught COVID, and then he broke his foot, and you've had this much you've had to pay for, and part-time because, well, I was able to stream Monday for 8 hours about it totally messed me, or when I went into the PT today, I had my hips out 3 different directions. Few things like that. And so, and I literally chat of the streamer I rated, but I was laying down and I wasn't typing very much either. Also, my thumb had been dislocated in a weird way for me today, probably because of that. So I can't do, or I shouldn't be doing 8 hours. And I will say that 8 hours was Amy basically took over as I was. So this morning I was telling Orchid Jade, it's as though something, as though she took over, because she also, I would have never written half of what happened. First of all, I don't think I would have thought of it in short sections. I mean, it was not planned out. Holy crap. In fact, as I told Orchid Jade, I keep trying to make her not appear to be as amazing as she is. I keep trying to show flaws and things like that. And then she goes through and says, I am this beyond amazing person that's like little to no flaws, and you have to deal with it. Have fun. And I'm going, but you aren't perfect. I know you're not perfect. Just because you have all these strengths, I see a lot of weaknesses in her too. But the weaknesses keep not having a chance to manifest themselves very much. I do think one of her biggest weaknesses is the fact that she will she's much like me, as in she will, if something needs done, she will do it. And she's always giving to others and everything else. And I think David admits that I'm so guilty of this, to the point where she doesn't take care of herself as much as she should. And I think that kind of I hope that kind of came through with the fact that she's told to have fun and schedule in fun times, and her fun times, so her vacation ends up being, she plans it to Utah because her friend wants to see Temple Square, and then then she finds out that MACUSA president wants to meet with her while she's here. So she goes and meets with MACUSA president and spends half the day with MACUSA president and the other half the day guiding people around, showing her of creating a satellite pack. So really, of the 4-day trip that they had, she has only Sunday as a relax. I see her enjoying it, really getting the benefit of the religious everything. But it's also Sunday, and the way I see it, she does things like she spends her Sundays, and as the day she gets home, she's gonna relax in the morning is scheduled, but then she's going to go out and deliver presents all that afternoon. And I can't remember, I think the next day is actually Christmas, which, yeah, okay, she's gonna have fun with her family for Christmas, but that's what everyone would do. So her first real vacation days of the whole, so yeah, she's really, her whole, so far, a lot of her holiday vacation, so she's doing it for her mom. Another day was a spa day with her mom, Lily, and Laura, but it was because Lily, or not Lily, is it Lily? Yeah. Anyway, yeah, Lily, and it's because Lily really wanted to go to experience a human spa. And even there, she ended up talking business with someone who was there. And learning a little bit about EDS. And so the day after Christmas, with her siblings. And yeah, okay, having fun and whatever, but it's not like she scheduled anything she would enjoy. In this is and then another part of what's going to be happening, obviously, we're already setting up a huge conflict between werewolves. And the way I see it is that how are people treated, and that even that the way they're treated by others varies. We are seeing Amy is not really being treated horribly by those she's around. So she has not experienced in a way.
3:47, according to your phone.
Okay. Probably. Yeah, we'll make one more round.
Wendy's calling.
Wendy's. Anyway, so they sent her to school with threadbare clothes and books and whatever, and the way I see it is that the family she's from is there. Sees the clothes she has and whatever, and throws a fit over it. And where'd you get this money? And so I see never experienced any racism himself, but literally across the street, and she's had kids her age there tell her they can't have anything to do with her because of, and they won't tell her why, but basically it's come across that it's because of her skin color. And so she's experienced blatant, outright racism. And she's very close to the very same place that the distance isn't big enough to say, oh, it's a different state, or if it's, or et cetera, et cetera. It's literally just the difference in the people that they have been around and that they happen to have run across. And I show that, so Amy has been totally accepted by, she's met with MACUSA, she's et cetera, with the MACUSA president, she's met with others, welcomed with open arms. Never had anyone treat her bad for being a werewolf, though she has been very careful about who she shares it with. But just because she's used to doing that. And not because, it's just part of the way she's always lived her life. Due to racism that happened generations before. And so while she's never experienced the blatant racism, there were things she did to deal with it that have protected her from the racism now. And I think that may be part of what's going on with my stepson. He may understand that there's certain things that you just don't do, or etc., because of your skin color, or else it puts you at greater risk of being treated poorly. You know, he is aware. He probably shouldn't be out in the middle of the night.
Caden?
Yeah. Around here. Because the chances of him, if he were pulled over by himself, being treated negatively, are likely greater. He's aware of that. He's never experienced it himself, but he's also never put himself in a situation to where he might experience that. He's made sure he's surrounded by friends. He's very open, and he actually will go and talk to people when he first meets them, so that they get to know him, rather than allowing others to tell others to help make the impression of what he's like. Different things like that I think have helped protect him from the racism that some people around here do have. But that shouldn't necessarily be happening, but it does. And it's very common for people, you know, I being poor so I grew up poor, and my kids have, and they know there's certain things that you do to protect yourself from negative treatment. Okay, we are streaming.
Hello.
So what did he say about my med? You forgot. Okay. Yeah. We need to get her that check. Mom forgot something on one of the checks.
What?
She didn't sign it.
Ah.
I was saying, it's a good thing that we bank at the same bank as her, because other banks might have taken it assuming it was a fake check.
Yes.
But they just kind of said, she forgot to sign this.
Yes. That would have been very sad.
But all the rest are in.
Okay.
And we did stop by, but she's at the temple.
Yeah.
So
It's Wednesday.
So we did try to get it taken care of for you, but not much we can do.
Nope.
I will say, Grandpa was in a good mood today. Anyway. So you're glad, though, that I decided to stop by and wait? Yes, no?
Yeah. David. You have a very big bump in your hair. No, but it's funny. You look like one of those dinosaurs who had the giant thing bump on their heads. Don't ask me what they're called, I don't know.
The flat kind of bump.
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny. I mean, because who says it was flat? Who says it wasn't filled with fat? And wasn't a fat store? I mean, you cannot tell fat store areas from both. And so, if it was a fat store area, it would, yeah, it could definitely change how they acted. But would never know that.
Yep.
And so everyone thinks we know all this stuff about dinosaurs, and we know a lot, but there's a lot that we don't know and that's still being figured out. And that's a big thing, that's still being figured out. I mean, they're now saying that T-Rex never stood straight upright. They were and they didn't run. It used to be thought that they would chase their prey. Now and that they were a dangerous carnivore. Now some people have come out saying that they probably were one of the slowest dinosaurs out there and were literally just opportunists. Yeah, they were carnivores, but they were complete opportunists. If something was dead or dying or weak, that was what they'd go after. They weren't like a lion. I had .3.
Oh, there's 2 of them ready.
Okay, would you? My guess is they popped while we were driving around and David didn't realize.
Oh yeah, let me click.
I'm gonna pull over because someone's coming behind us.
Okay. At it and free it from the ice. Does it matter which port key to put in?
Yes. pick up 2 of those port keys. The 1920s port keys and start them.
Okay. If your personal move. Does it look like a bucket?
Like a bucket. No.
No.
Remember you looked at it earlier.
I tried to look, but it didn't really work. For security reasons, port key, blah blah blah, require special keys to activate and unlock. The ministry have provided you with a golden key you can always use, so you can always be making progress on at least
Interesting.
port key. I think I might have clicked something, but I'm not entirely sure what I would have clicked. Silver keys can only be used once, but they just work just like the golden key.
I don't know what you clicked. Did you click on a port key?
Maybe? Shut up, I know how to do this.
Okay, I was going to say, 'cause usually I don't get that, so I'm wondering what happened.
Oh. Really? You forced me to use it on that one? Really?
What?
It made me use it on a prized port key.
Shoot. Oh well,
Because it wouldn't let me click on anything else.
I might have exited out, but well, whatever. Are all my port key spots full now and going or no?
You have 1 silver.
Because I would like to be sure we have the 1920s port keys. That's kind of frustrating though, that right now of the event, we're going to try and insist you can't use it for a 1920s event port key. Did you find one?
Yes.
Okay. Got it going?
Yes.
Okay, so all the port key spots are full. And you found one and you've got it going. Right?
Now they're all full. Yes.
Okay. And yes, you can use silver keys on the 1920s ones. Just because we have names beginning to So how are you doing crafting with Ray? If you're still listening.
Somebody's. I don't know who.
It might be Steph, it might be crafting with Ray.
And they don't know how to check.
Yeah. I think the only way to check is through Twitch, and I don't necessarily know through with my phone. So especially with the fact the internet's been having trouble off and on.
Yeah. Considering you lost connection earlier, and then it says the stream connection is not stable. Admittedly, it says that a lot, so
Yeah.
that really isn't indicative of anything.
Craft. Wherever he's headed. Pretty sure I just, yeah, that's,
Yeah, it was. But I didn't know where he's going.
I know. Not that we're complaining, it worked out. There. you planning, just so I know, tomorrow, are you planning on staying at school? How long?
Depends on what happens tomorrow, to be honest. Depends on stuff. But, I would say I would have been by 12, I would be done. Because I should be done by 12 tomorrow.
Okay. I'm just asking because at one I'm streaming, but it's going to be driving around again. So. But, yeah. So when does your class start?
The 30th.
So
Starts on the 30th.
In 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And does it end at the very same time that...
No.
Okay, so it's like 2 terms or whatever? Thanks.
I think I have a couple weeks before and a couple weeks after.
Which is, basically it's on the USU schedule. So how are they doing that? And they're broadcasting
into the classroom.
Fast forward
Yeah.
classroom. Okay. I wasn't sure because, yeah. Some places it's interesting the way they do it. It just varies. Plus, it could have been broadcast to BATC.
Yeah.
Understand why I was asking?
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of the classrooms at USU are already set up for broadcast to BATC. So there's more than just you taking this class.
Out of our school, it's me and one other person.
Sometimes they're picky about how many students have to be in each area to be able to allow a broadcast to there. You follow?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I was trying to figure out. Where technically they could insist because you're in Cache Valley that you go up to USU for it. I'm not complaining. Are you completely out of stuff? Like, do they disappear?
The
or
games,
do you
the kind of goes in rounds and like the round ends.
But you can use your stuff in future rounds too.
Well, kind of, yes. Kind of, no.
Okay.
You bring the same, like, you have like a group of people that you bring in,
Mm-hmm.
and then you get, it's you like summon them randomly, and then through the level you get items.
I see.
And then you can also buy items from a merchant and other stuff.
So even if you get it to platinum, it's not something that'll help in the future.
No. I just want to see it.
Oh, I totally get that. You get where I'm. But do you lose it during the rounds? It's not like it can be destroyed or something.
No.
Okay.
One of the other ones got upgraded to.
Happened. I had someone I was watching she says she didn't get actually had a huge impact on the... I'm fine with wherever it saved last and restart from there. And it saved right outside of the boss, and she kept having